All right, with Lesson 191, we're continuing this process of moving God from something out there to God that we were walking with, to something that we are experiencing God's love and God's peace in us. And now we are saying, even more than that, it's not that there is some God in us. We are the extension of what God is, because the Course has defined the Son of God as an extension of the divinity, right? If God were my hand, then I am the tip of my finger, right? I'm the very tip of that little finger. So here is your declaration of release from the bondage of the world. We've already seen that all the yuck in the world ends when we recognize that the love and the peace is in us. There, we can choose the love and the peace and the joy and be free of anything like pain. And this is saying not only are we released, but the whole world is released as we've done that. Because what we have done in playing cops and robbers or cowboys and Indians, like we used to when we were kids, we make everybody in the group play the rules, right? Everyone's got to play by these rules or it's not a good game. And that's the same thing we've been doing as adults with this belief that somehow God is out there and we are stuck and we have to go through all of these horrible processes and the world is awful and all of that stuff. All right? All right. And so if we look in the second paragraph, it lays this out a little more clearly with these questions. What have you done? You've denied your own identity. You look on chaos and proclaim it instead of what is real as yourself. All right. And it goes on and explains that. And the next couple of paragraphs are explaining more of that. And you can spend some time in there. But then you go into that paragraph where it says, yet what is it except a game you play in which identity can be denied? Oh, no, I'm not Ruth. I'm Princess so-and-so in this game. And so everything that Ruth can do, I may not be able to do because the rules are I have to do this and this and this. Okay? That's how it works. So now I've been saying, I'm Ruth, I'm not the Son of God. Well, as Ruth, I can only do this, this, and this, and this. The Son of God can do all of those things, but that's not who I'm being right now, right? And that's what we're all doing. That's what we're all doing. So we have a model. We have several models. We have the avatars in various cultures, but in our culture and the culture in which the Course is written, the model is Jesus. Jesus, who we call the Christ, because he knew he was the Son of God. He never doubted it in his adult life that we know of, and he reinforced that through his regular spiritual practice. We have been denying that, and so we have not allowed ourselves to be able to be and do all the things we're capable of being and doing because we've been following the rules of this world that we've been making. We've been miscreating all of our lives. Okay, so this is to help us shift out of that, to get out of the game. Remember when we had to go in for lunch or supper or something, we had to take all of that imagined limitation and all those imagined capabilities and lay them aside and come back in the house and be who our parents and family expected us to be, and with all of those capabilities, a different set of capabilities. And that's what we're beginning to do today. I think it's kind of fun, actually. You are as God created you. All else but this one thing is folly to believe. To believe anything other than I am an extension of what God is folly. To believe that I am this body, to believe that I am this intellect, to believe that I am this family member, to believe that I am subject to gravity, all of that is folly, because the Son of God, the extension of what God is, embraces all of that. Those are just the rules we made up for this particular game. So in the next paragraph, it starts with but. We're going to write only. Only let today's idea find a place among your thoughts, and you have risen far above the world and all the worldly thoughts that hold the world prisoner. Okay? So as soon as in my old game of cowboys and Indians, cops and robbers, whatever it was, as soon as I put that aside and said, okay, I'm Ruth, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to have dinner and I'm going to read my books and I'm going to do this and that and the other thing, then I've risen above the game, and all of what was holding the game together dissolves. And that's exactly what we're doing now. Okay? As soon as I acknowledge that who I am, as soon as each of you acknowledges that who you are is an extension of God, an extension of the source of all that is, an extension of the wisdom and the joy and the intellect and the peace and the balance and the harmony that is the weaving and the quantum field and everything else that is. As soon as you do that, then all the rules and the limitations of the game that we've been playing in these bodies begin to dissolve, and we get to focus on the other ways of being that are open to us, our other capabilities, our more complete, full capabilities. It's just amazing. And so part of that next paragraph, a few sentences down, it says, for anyone who can accept their true identity is truly saved. And then it says, the salvation is the gift we give to everyone. All right? By being who we truly are, everyone around us is uplifted, because nobody's caught in the game of whatever game we've been playing, cops and robbers, cowboys and Indians, whatever it was, right? Now we are outside of that game. All the rules that were holding it together no longer work. I hope this is beginning to make sense to you. All right, and the next paragraph, same thing. One holy thought like this and you are free. What's a holy thought? A holy thought is something that is so clear and felt so thoroughly, fully, completely through the whole being. Whole. Think of it that way. And you are free. Know this completely, fully, and thoroughly, and you are free. To the extent that you know it is the extent to which you are free. And all of you know it to some extent. And you are all free to that extent. You want to be more free? Know it more fully. That's it. Isn't that fascinating? All right. Then there's a line in that paragraph later on. It says, you will not see a devastating image of yourself walking the world in terror. All right. Anyone you're seeing out there is you. You will no longer see people who are frightened or who are, trying to control out of their fear. You will no longer see these devastating images of yourself, because you are free, and therefore your world is free, and therefore there is no one in it showing up like that. So one way to know the extent to which you've completed this is how much of those are you seeing? Yeah? Be glad today, it says, how very easily is hell undone. All of that yuck, all of that fear, all of that anger, all of that misery, all of that pain, gone by one holy thought, one thoroughly felt and understood and comprehended and accepted realization that who I really am is an extension of the source of all that is, creating more fully, more of what all that is. And then it says, and in that thought is everything you look on wholly changed. So once you've had this experience, the world is different. And this is the miracle state that we've talked about. Whether you do it through our expressing and releasing process, or what we call that, or what the Course calls the forgiving process, however you get to that place where all that is the love and the light, where there was fear or anger or distress or pain or guilt or whatever before, you're in that place and the world has changed. And when you've got this idea, everything can be the love and the light. And the whole world Not just this one relationship, not just this one situation, but the whole world is transformed into that love and light. And it says in the next paragraph, a miracle has lighted up all dark and ancient caverns, etc., etc. Time has lost its hold upon the world. At one moment has happened for that moment. Oh my goodness. And the wonderful thing about it is, of course, everyone we see must be different, and everyone we resonate with who is moving in alignment with us in some way, whether we ever see them or not, somewhere in the world, somewhere, someone maybe even on another planet, wakes up too. Wakes up too. All right. A little more logic there, a little more logic. And it says, look about, yeah, it's giving you opportunities. It's talking you into it. You can go there, do what you want to. And then the very last couple of sentences, you are the Holy Son of God himself. You are the embodiment, the incarnation, the fulfillment, the expression of divinity. Here, now, and always. Remember this, and all the world is free. Remember this, and earth and heaven are one. The new earth and the new heaven that are referred to in the book of Revelation are when they are one. There is no longer any separation, just one. Totally intermingled. All that we would ever call heavenly and all that we ever call earthly are one joyful experience. Yes, that is what Lesson 191 is about. And how wonderfully appropriate that we're looking at that lesson at the beginning of this year, 2016. Thanks so very much for doing this work.